And here are the slides.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Quick show of hands. Who does not use a smartphone? What I really want to ask is, like, who knows somebody who doesn't use a smartphone? Yeah, okay, that's a lot. Sorry for you. This is about smartphones, and actually, it's about Android smartphones. I hope those iPhone users still stay around. Most of the talk also applies for iPhones, although this is about the event schedule. So my name is Tobias, and I'm maintaining this app for a while, and I want to tell you about it. I hope it's not too boring, because most of you maybe know the app, but I start with the basics because there are newcomers here. So it looks like this. What actually brought me to this app is actually this grid view where you can compare things on the same level. You see what happens at the same time. I hope you also rotate your phone, because the same is possible on the phone if you don't use a tablet. And that's like the selling feature for me, but there's of course more. The basic stuff is you can select your favorites, watch them, delete them. You can export them. I don't know if many people found that, because the app does not use any tracking, so I'm totally blind of what you do or what you don't. There's this share button to export favorites, and you can kind of change the style how the favorites are visualized in the grid view. Alarms. You can set up alarms for talks, so you're reminded up front. So you can go to a talk that is like far away on the other side of the Congress building, and inspect the list of alarms, and also customize things about the alarms, so the default timing and like the tone. There's schedule updates, which are pretty recent here on Congress, because there are so many stages and everyone changes things now and then, and so you get a lot of notifications that you can mute if you want. So you can disable the updates in total and just press the refresh button, or you can go into the Android settings and mute the channel for those updates. That's something you can do. There's more things, so you can put the events into your personal calendar on the phone, share them on Twitter or whatever. You can vote, and I encourage to do that. Like, all the talks have a voting backend, which I redirect to, and then you can give feedback to the speakers. There's like stars, but you can also write a text. And that's very valuable, so people know how they performed. Last but not least, there's an integration with the navigation app, the C3 Nav project. Very good project to get you around the building. There's an extra app you have to install, otherwise it redirects you to the website. Short introduction to the backend. What basically happens in the background is that there's a lot of stages like this, and they all have their own system to organize the talks. They're running pre-talks, and there's this big system which has been used for years called EventFahrplan, and that's for the main 5 stages. And the VOC team collects all the data and aggregates it into one file. And what the schedule app basically does is just fetching an XML file. And that comes with advantages and disadvantages, because there's different systems and different formats, timestamps, time zones. Things can happen, things can go wrong, but by now it looks quite stable. This talk is titled "One App to Serve You All." And what happens here is Congress gives you this app, but there's more. During the year, I deploy this app for other conferences, CCC conferences, and even more. And so the last year was a lot of work. There were a couple of conferences where this app came into play and was used by several users. And as you can see, there's a lot. Actually, it was 14 apps, and I had 56 releases over the time. And then back into 2017, as the same thing happened. And it all started with Tux Mobile, who actually created this project. I joined the project like 5 years ago, and it's open source. And the problem is there's many people using, but there's just one developer. And I'm very thankful for all the feedback and for the bugs, but this is a call for participation. And there's many things you can do. And there's a lot of things, even if you're not programming, that you can help with. And I encourage you to reach out and help with the project, because this is totally wrong at the moment. One developer won't survive.
All right, thank you.